How to estimate the amount of paint required to paint the interior walls of a home. In order to get the ceiling measurement, measure the length and the width of the room and multiply these numbers together. This will give you the ceiling square footage. Then divide the footage by the manufacturer's recommended amount of coverage per gallon. This will give you the amount of gallons required to paint the ceiling. To estimate the wall surfaces, measure the length of each wall. Then add them together. Then measure the height of the room. Multiply the entire perimeter by the height. This will give you the overall footage of the room. Then subtract 15 square feet for each window and 20 square feet for each door opening. This will give you the surface area that needs to be painted. Then divide this square footage by the amount of coverage per gallon. This will give you the amount of gallons required to paint the wall surfaces. To estimate the trim, measure the length of the various trims, such as the baseboards, the door trim, and any crown molding. Do not add these lengths together. Then measure the width of each trim and multiply it by its total length. When calculating trim, convert the inches to the decimal system. So if it is 3 inches, it would be 1/4 of a foot. If it is 6 inches, it would be 0.5 or half a foot. After calculating these surfaces, add 20 feet to that calculation for each door that is in the room. This will provide the total square footage of the trim. Then divide the footage by the amount of coverage per gallon. This will give you the amount of gallons required to paint the trim. I recommend that you use the highest square footage recommended by the paint manufacturers. This will eliminate over-purchasing of the product. The primary purpose for the manufacturer is for you to buy more paint and they make more money. It is important to estimate the right amount of paint to prevent overbuying. Using the right type of paint for the job will determine the amount of paint that you use. For instance, according to Behr, when using Behr Premium Plus Ultra Paint with primer, the recommended coverage area is 250 to 400 square feet of wall area. My own experience with this paint on a semi-gloss surface has averaged 375 square feet. Each paint will vary depending upon its ability to cover the existing surface, such as painted walls, porous surfaces, rough textures, unpainted surfaces. When there is a huge color difference, the wall may require additional coatings. I have had to paint some walls as many as 3 different times in order to have complete coverage on the wall. You can find a paint calculator on my website at drywallpainting.davidnorton.org. Thank you for visiting.